over to the bad because obviously there is that to discuss. So we talked about going into the game. We wanted to see, like, the main thing I think from us on the panel last week after Ohio State was clean up like the game penalties. Arch's mechanics need to be cleaned up, and then red zone. I feel like we answered, 1.5 to 2 of those, but penalties, my God, you're going up against San Jose State, who you're far more talented than. Those teams should be committing more penalties on you because they shouldn't be able to block you up front. They should be getting nervous when the ball's in the air one-on-one, tugging on the jersey, holding, stuff like that. And you lost the penalty battle. I believe the final one was 12-3. That is unacceptable. So I want you guys to start on that. Brandon, I'll start with you with this one.
Yeah, so what I wanted to see last week was efficient, clean play. I didn't care about the score. I knew we would win because we're better. But it was like, to your point, the number of penalties that we had was unacceptable. Colin Simmons had 2 offsides and 1 roughing the passer. Like, that's the type of stuff that'll cost you versus a better team. Even a team who's like just mid, like very mid, like that gives them hope. It keeps them in the game. Penalties on both sides. We had a big play called back because of blocking the back. We had a legal motion. We had holding. Like, just it wasn't.
We had a touchdown called back.
Yeah. Right, because of penalties. And it's like, at some point we have to grow up because we aren't going to be afforded the opportunity to have those penalties. You can't have 12 penalties in Georgia and beat Georgia, or in Florida and expect to win. Like, that's not happening. So that was probably the most frustrating thing. Everything else I thought was kind of correctable in terms of like the actual play, but the mental aspect of things in terms of just penalties, pre-snap penalties especially, and like that stuff has to get cleaned up, because if not, it's going to be a rough and long year.
To your point, B. Ross, 110 yards taken off the board for Texas via penalty, 110 yards taken back, right? You look at, like, and that's the hidden yards in it, right? You had a 23-yard play called back. You had a touchdown come off the board. You had that 42-yard pass to Livingston come back. Like, that 110 yards off the board plus the touchdown via penalties. That is inexcusable. You have to clean that up. There's no, like, that's going to kill you. I mean, it looks okay against San Jose State because you can win them just on talent, but you go to the Grove, you go to the Swamp and those things, and you're going to come away with a loss. You cannot afford to do that.
No, 100%. Yeah, 110 yards. So if we didn't commit any penalties, we're knocking on the door of 600 yards total. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a really dominant performance that you held back from. You probably score like 50 points instead of 38. And that's the thing. Like, the one that bothers me the most is you're at the 1-yard line and you run it in for a touchdown and you get that shot block and you go back to like the 15, 16-yard line. You're probably not scoring a touchdown second and goal at the 16-yard line versus Georgia versus Florida. So you got to clean that stuff up. You can't allow those penalties to take points off the board. And it's just unacceptable, especially when you're playing a team of this caliber. And then another thing, like, we had 1 sack today. And, yeah, we got constant pressure, but 1 sack versus San Jose State, you got to create more pressure and sacks there. I think we did a really good job of causing havoc overall, getting them to turn the ball over, forcing turnovers, because when you go in and punch the football, go in and rip the football, that's really good. But you got to create, again, more havoc in the backfield and get the guy down when you're back there. I mean, Colin Simmons, I know you jumped off sides, but if you're going to jump off sides, at least get him down, and he wasn't even able to do that. So that's another thing that I think we need to see more of, is sacks versus especially inferior opponents.
Yeah, and to your point about efficiency, just like playing, Texas was 2 of 12 on third downs.
Yeah, that was my next point. My God.
2 of 12 on third downs. I think half of them were from 9 yards or longer. Like that, like, you got to do a better job on first and second down, setting yourself up to convert on third downs, right? That's not going to get it done. Again, not going to get it done. Texas, I think, only rushed for 2.7 yards per carry on third down. Like, that's just not good enough, period, end of sentence. It's just not good enough.
No, that's exactly what I was about to say. I'm like, 2 for 12 on third down. Like, we didn't convert as many third downs as them. That's crazy to me. They were 4 of like 15, I think, 14, something like that. Like, so we only converted two first downs, went for it twice on fourth down. Like, we shouldn't have to go for it on fourth down versus a San a San Jose State team. Like that should not be the case. And to your point, Gerald, like it was the inefficiencies in the run game on third down, and like the screen game was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I see why he didn't call screens last week. Like,
Yeah.
starting to make sense now. Like our receivers weren't blocking. We couldn't get the ball upfield. Like it was all over the place. So, yeah, like we have to clean up so much in critical moments. Like the red zone got better, but to Matthew's point, we had a 15-yard penalty that brought us back to the 16. That's like that's second and goal. Like we can't get a first down. Like we have to score at that point. We're just so lucky that they ran cover 2 and the safety ran out the play. So perfect, cool. But that's not going to happen versus a well-coached Florida, Georgia, Oklahoma team. Like that's not the case. So we have to be cleaner, have to be more efficient in critical moments in those third downs on both sides of the ball.
No, I completely agree. And that's the thing too, when we come back from the Ohio State game, we said, being good in critical moments. I thought there were times where we were pretty good in critical moments, but again, we're not to the standard of winning a national championship, which again, you can get better. We have 2 more of these type of games before you go into Florida. So it improved, but did it improve to our standard? No. But again, you have 2 more games. And then another thing. So this is the bad part of Arch. On that interception, you got to eat the football. Like you're in the red zone, you can kick the field goal, just eat the football. You don't even have, like Jesse Palmer was talking about throwing out of bounds. You don't have to throw out of bounds. Just freaking lay down. Your uncle knows that. Your uncle knows, hey, it's dead. I'm laying on the ground. Touch me. I don't care. It's over.
Absolutely.
So he's got to learn how to do that. And there's something, I think what worries me is he kind of got gun shy after that. If you guys notice, he wouldn't throw in the middle of the field, like in between the coverage after that, because I think he was afraid of throwing another interception because Sark's probably like, there, you just have to eat it. So he's got to know when to eat it at certain times. And then when you trust your eyes, rip the football, because there were certain plays there.
Yeah, they called it out on the broadcast. There were several spots where Texas had a guy coming open in the middle of the field. I think, I say coming open because I come back to, I think some of it is Arch not trusting himself to throw a man open, right? Throw a man who isn't clean quite yet. And that was one of the things that Quinn Ewers did really well, actually, was in those intermediate routes, he would throw guys open. He would put the ball out in front of them where they can make a break to it. And so I don't know what the issue is. I'm not a quarterback coach, but Arch is not willing to throw a guy that's not completely clean. And when he does, it's like, I'm going to either chunk it into double coverage, or I'm going to wait till a guy is completely wide open. Like it's not ever, hey, I know what route they're running and I'm going to throw it to where they're going to be in 3 steps. And that's what the question is for me. Because on a lot of those misses, it was a guy who was going to come out from behind a linebacker that was underneath, or it was going to come out from behind, a safety playing a shallow zone. So like, you've got to be able to do that if you're going to play high level football.
You're absolutely right. I mean, he had one pass I thought today that was thrown with anticipation. It was they ran like a counter play action. Jack Injuries is coming over the linebackers, and he ripped it because he had pressure, and he ripped it as soon as he cleared. Like perfect. It was textbook in terms of that concept. But to your point, he doesn't throw with anticipation because he just lacks confidence. To me, like quarterbacks who, and like he has the arm talent, but to consistently be a good quarterback, you have to throw guys open. And when you're talking about not doing it versus a team who can't cover you, when the coverage is really tight, like no one's going to be open per se. It's all going to be a couple steps here and there where the ball has to be out on time, and the pass rush is going to be better. So that's something, that a lot of young quarterbacks kind of struggle with, because in high school, everyone's always kind of open. Or like, when they play in their like cleanup time or these worse opponents, guys are always open. So that's something like that could get better this season. How much that gets better, who knows? Because I mean, that's not something that you just say, oh, okay, I'm going to just start ripping it. So it might be a concept thing where certain concepts he might throw with better timing, but yeah, he has to trust his receivers, he has to trust his O-line and let the ball rip sometimes, because his picks aren't coming from just like they're coming from not throwing the ball on time, or or forcing the ball when you don't have to. To Matthew's point, he could have took the sack. hell, if you know your playbook well enough, you would have known that you had a backhand, throw it at his feet. You know what I mean? So, again, this is all a learning process for him. I think he will get better, but how much he's able to throw with that anticipation and like those instincts really comes from his pregame preparation in terms of understanding the coverages of where guys should be and not where his guy should be. You should already know that. You should already know at the top of your drop, he should be 2 steps outside the hash now, but this linebacker should be this far inside. Like, he has to get the mental aspect of it to me in order to gain the confidence to throw with that anticipation. But until he does, we better be really good at running the ball.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. What I noticed is I kind of thought this was the case of going into the year we'd be better at running the ball than pass protection. That's what I wanted to talk about. Like, I didn't think the pass protection was that great today, especially Brandon Baker is definitely like the weakness of this offensive line. Like, I like the other 4 guys, but my gosh, he got beat a lot today. He committed more penalties. Yeah, what did you guys think of him overall?
I mean, I think you said it right. I think he learned the wrong things behind Cam Williams. I'll say it like that. I think there were some bad penalty spots. I think he again, it's San Jose State, right? You should be able to beat that guy based on talent. And San Jose State getting pressure, bringing 3 or 4 is not a great sign for things to come for Texas. And it's not just on him. DJ Campbell had a penalty as well in there, so it's not just him. And DJ Campbell should be the guy that's not. Unless DJ Campbell is like an unnecessary roughness for throwing a defender, like I don't want to see him have any penalties, right? So ultimately, I think like that is something to keep an eye on. It's something that I was concerned about. Now, again, some of it is because they're young. Some of it is because it's a new offensive line still learning each other. Offensive line is a position group that comes together and gels more as the season progresses, right? Learning the people next to you, learning how your center is calling out coverages and calling out schemes, learning how somebody's feet and hands are going to be in the right place so you don't have to grab somebody when you're trying to make a chip block. Those are things that come with reps. So hopefully over the next couple of weeks, they can get those things ironed out.
Yeah. He had a rough day today. I mean, run game and pass game, because in the pass game, it wasn't that he was just getting beat. He was allowing the edge to collapse. Tackles protect the width of the pocket, guards protect the depth of the pocket. And just in different moments, like we didn't play as 5. It was, 3 guys did well, 2 guys struggled. 4 guys did well, 1 guy struggled. And then when we did protect and give us a clean pocket, we like Arch stood tall, delivered some good passes. So to your point, Gerald, like we just have to be more consistent. And as the season goes, we should get better because that room is all about chemistry and timing and really thinking like the center. Everyone has to kind of be on the same page as him before he even makes a call so that you're not shocked or stunned by what protection he calls. Also, Arch has to get better at protecting himself because on the interception, he should have put the back on the other side. Like it was a simple protection. I think the center went left, but the back was left too. The only time the center and the back go to the same side is on a screenplay. Only time. Outside of that, they should always be opposite. If Arch would have put the back on the other side, CJ would have been able to pick him up. Now we're looking at a different play. He doesn't throw a pick. So, Brandon Baker has to get better. More so mentally. I don't think there's anything physically he can't do. I think it's all between the ears for him right now.
I don't disagree with that. And that's the thing too, like Gerald and I wanted Cam Williams to come back because, you would have got progress at that position. I feel like you're kind of in the same position you were last year. Like there's no progress there because you kind of getting the exact same play you got from Cam Williams a lot of the time. Yeah. I will say he's a little bit better pre-snap. Like he doesn't flinch as much, but like when the ball snapped, I think they're pretty similar to each other. And then let's get to the drops. Arch Manning was struggling earlier in that game and then delivers a very catchable football to Ryan Wingo over in the middle, and he just drops the football. And those two have not been on the same page at all. So another bad thing. You got to, like, that's the thing. If Arch is going to struggle a little bit, you're going to have to help him out as well. And the wide receivers did not do that today.
Yeah, and I wonder what Emmett Mosley looks like if he comes back, when he comes back. I don't know if we have an injury status on him, but I wonder if he's a guy who can do some of that for Texas, right? Him being able to be that like big body, I'm going to make those catches over the middle. So you can have Wingo doing the gadgets and the wheels and those types of things. So I think that is something that like, I think we need to have like an asterisk on some of this until he's back, but you have to play the hand that you're dealt, and the guys aren't playing it well.
Yeah. I mean, when the ball hits your hand as a receiver, you just got to catch it. No matter how he tried to catch a ball, like it's no one in front of him too. That was the best part. Like he would have had room to run, turn to the field, probably have a big play, probably a touchdown, because we all know he can run. So yeah, they have to clean up the drops because you have to help your quarterback out. Like he's already dealing with so much, and to have to deal with drops, now that turns into, well, do I want to throw this guy the ball? Do I want to even put him in this situation? Now it's okay. Now I'm gonna force it to a guy I trust. Like I can see it happening because quarterbacks are all about trust. Who do they trust in front of them? Who do they trust to catch the ball they are delivering? So if Arch starts, if these drops are like becoming a thing with the ball, like hitting guys in the chest, I don't see a reason for him not to be kind of frustrated or kind of just like, you know what, he's open, but I don't know. Like, and then, like that's a snowball effect of now, okay, I don't trust this guy. I'm forced to this guy. Now everyone kind of knows and I'm forced to, like, it's so much that goes on with multiple guys dropping the ball. So hopefully we get this cleaned up because like this can't be the norm. Can't be.
No, 100%. Yeah, they already, I think, struggle a little bit with getting separation. And then if you're going to get separation, he delivers you a catchable football. You have to catch it. So definitely need to work on that. There's really, and that's the thing too, like going into this season, I thought we'd have, two solid options in Ryan Wingo and DeAndre Moore. I think the two best options right now are Jack Hendries and Parker Livingston. You need to have someone step up and be that third guy, because you can't have two guys. Two guys can get shut down in an offense. You need a third guy to step up. I feel confident about the running backs, especially when Trey Wisner comes back. Yeah. I feel pretty good about 80% of the offensive line. It's really just the right tackle I'm worried about. We just need one more guy to step up. I don't know who that's going to be. I thought it was going to be Ryan Wingo. I really thought DeAndre Moore would just be solid, and neither of them have played that well. So we'll see. And then the last thing, who do you think a young guy that can step up? Can Khalil Lockett be a guy that steps up? Can Dalen McCutcheon? Because that was the weirdest thing about today. Dalen McCutcheon was a no-show. Like he didn't play that much. And then when he did, never gave him the football. Khalil Lockett, I believe, ended up with 2 catches. I don't think Dalen McCutcheon had any.
He had 1 for 3 yards.
Okay,
that was it. So to your point, he didn't show up. Yeah, like honestly, one of those young guys are going to have to show up, like because at this rate, we need those young guys to start pushing guys for more playing time, to see what we have, to maybe build better chemistry with Arch. But we cannot have them show up and have the vets in front of them play like they're playing, because then our offense is stagnant, non-existent. So in a perfect world, Lockett and McCutcheon show up and practice, and they start pushing for more playing time, more reps, because like we need more out of this room. Like we need guys to step up and make plays that they're supposed to make. We need guys to play up to their size, play up to the 5-star, 4. Like it's time, because as crazy as it sounds, each game we're running out of time to get better. So we need guys to step up and help a young quarterback, help him grow, because as he grows, they'll get better as well, because they'll start getting more balls thrown to them. Sark will be more confident and maybe pushing the ball downfield in not predictable situations. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would love to see more of Lockett, because he's a big body, hard to guard. He really good body control. So hopefully these guys show up in practice, because I know Sark, I've seen him coach in practice. That's what matters to him. It's what are you doing when no one's watching, when the cameras aren't on, when the lights aren't bright. What are you doing to get better? Are you doing little things in terms of film and all this stuff? So hopefully those young guys are doing their part, doing what they need to do, and they earn those opportunities.
Yeah, and you mentioned Lockett. He showed up a little, like I said, it was garbage time, but he looked good in those garbage time snaps. Like when you're a guy who's on the second unit of the depth chart, you have to make the most of every snap when you get on the field. So his ability to flash in those moments, I think, will get him more opportunities to flash than in practice, like you're mentioning. So I like Lockett. I've been on record to say that I like Lockett 6'2", 185, but still with kind of some not elite track speed, but he's still a pretty fast freaking kid. So he's a guy that I think could make some waves for Texas if they need one of these younger guys to step up. Because again, like you mentioned, B. Ross, if the older guys are not getting it done, then somebody's got to get fed. Like this offense, and if you're going to show up, like Sark's going to feed you, and Sark is not the guy who's going to be loyal to an older guy because they're the older guy. He's gonna feed the guys who want to eat. So if you show up and want to eat, then show up and eat.
No, 100%. Is there anything else from this game that you guys stuck at or thought that was bad from Texas?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I was trying to find something on defense to like hone in on. I thought everyone, Grayson Littleton had a come to Jesus moment out there. Like I think, like this was the perfect time for him to have that moment where he got beat, but the guy didn't make the play. Because now that's teach tape. He's going to learn from that. He's going to get better. I know he had a pick, but he worries me. Gilbo worries me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's the guy to be opposite because he's going to get a lot of targets and a lot of balls as the comp gets better. And I don't know if he can handle that volume just in terms of being able to cover consistently and you're getting 8 to 10 targets or, 6 to 8 targets. Like that's a lot of targets for one guy to deal with. So like, I know he had a pick, like he didn't play bad, but like I see too much separation at times.
Yeah.
And like, I just like that's kind of like, it's not bad per se, but like, it's just one of those things that I kind of worry about. I thought Kobe Black played okay, but same with him. Like he was just like the opposite, the corner opposite of Muhammad. They all were kind of just like this today. They were just very up and down. So like, we need someone who's going to play well, be consistent, and be someone that we can count on later as the season goes on. Because right now, I don't know who I would go into a game starting right now. Like, I know Gilbo's the oldest. He had a pick. He has production. But I'm not sure he's our best option right now.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Good. I was going to say, they got bailed out by some bad throws on some of that. I think you're right. Like, you saw both of those guys you mentioned get beat, but San Jose State didn't have the dudes to capitalize on it as much. So,
right.
Whether it was closing speed and kind of getting underneath the ball or just throwing it 5 yards out of bounds, there were spots where they were both beat and San Jose State couldn't capitalize.
Well, I was going to say that one, I thought it was a catch where he got mossed with the helmet.
Oh,
catch.
man.
I thought that was a catch.
I did too.
You should have given it to him. Rule of cool. It's cool. It's too cool for you to wipe it off the board.
Well, the thing is, what I hate about it, he controlled it on his helmet and landed, and then they started scrapping at the bottom, and then
that's when it started the ball. Like, yeah.
Okay, he's on the ground. That should be a catch. I disagreed with it, and that's thing too. Kobe Black, you got to turn. Like that's some 2016 defensive back stuff from Texas. There, you're in position. If you turn around, that's an interceptions. Yeah, exactly. So I don't disagree with that. I think something that's been floated, and I could see it because I do think Grayson Littleton struggled today with the more shifty guy, but you saw with the more physical guy, prototypical wide receiver build, he did good versus Ohio State. Maybe you slide him out there. You slide Jelani McDonald down to the nickel position, and you play Derek Williams and Michael Tapp at safety. I think that should be experimented with more in the next game, personally, because I do agree. Like those guys have been way too inconsistent. And when you go against Florida, they have Eugene Wilson and they have Dallas Wilson, so that guy's going to get picked on out there. And it's going to be interesting how that turns out. But so I agree with that.